my friendly frogs. It's Miss Marie again, and I'm going to read another insect-themed book or story. And this one is called Chirping Crickets. And this the author is Melvin Berger, and the illustrator is Megan Lloyd. Chirping Crickets. A little windy out here. It is late in the summer. The day is nearly over. The sun hangs low in the sky. Listen, the crickets are loudly chirping. You can hear the crickets chirping almost everywhere, in parks and woods, in fields and on lawns, along country roads, even inside your house. It is the male crickets you hear. They usually stay in one spot and call the females to them. Most of the females cannot make sounds. A male cricket does not chirp with his voice. He makes a chirping sound with his front wings. Each wing has a sharp edge called the scraper. The wing also has a long bumpy vein called a file. The cricket lifts up his front wings and rubs the scraper of one wing against the file of the other wing. Chirp! Back and forth he rubs his two front wings. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Would you like to chirp like a male cricket? Get a piece of stiff paper and a nail file. Rub the file against the edge of the paper. The sound is almost the same as a cricket's chirp. Interesting. The ears of a cricket are not where you'd expect them to be. They are under the knees of the cricket's front legs. The knees? Each ear is a tiny hole with a tight tissue thin cover. Crickets hear chirping sounds through these tiny holes. This is what happens. The chirps make the air move or vibrate. The vibrating air forms sound waves. The sound waves spread out to all sides. When they bump into the cricket's ears, the cricket hears the sound. A female cricket hears the male's chirps. She jumps towards the sound. Closer and closer she gets. Soon she's alongside the chirping male cricket, and they mate. Inside the female, tiny eggs start to grow. When the eggs are ready, she uses a long pointed tube at her back end to make tiny holes in the ground. Then she lays her eggs inside the holes. The eggs look like tiny yellow bananas. In the spring, the eggs hatch into nymphs. A nymph is lighter in color than an adult cricket. It doesn't have any wings. Soon the nymph gets too big for its hard outer covering. It wriggles out of its old skin and grows a new outside cover. This is called molting. The nymphs molt again and again. Some nymphs molt as many as 12 times, depending on the amount of food available and the weather conditions. After the last molt, they are adult crickets. Most adult crickets have two pairs of wings, front wings and back wings. Usually the wings lie flat over each other. The back wings are bigger than the front ones. Some crickets use these for flying. The front wings in males are used to chirp. Like all insects, crickets have 3 pairs of legs. The 2 front pairs are small, but the back legs are big and strong. The cricket uses them when it jumps or flies away. Some crickets can leap as far as 2 feet. That's about as far as you can hop. Crickets have two big eyes. Each eye is made up of many tiny eyes. They let the crickets see in many different directions at the same time, but a cricket's vision still isn't very good. In fact, crickets rely more on their ears to protect them from danger. Few enemies can sneak up on a cricket. You know that if you'd ever try to catch one. The cricket's mouth is at the front of its head. It has no teeth, but its strong jaws are able to cut up the leaves and small insects it eats. Two long, thin feelers on its head also help the cricket. These feelers are called antennae. Some antennae are longer than the cricket's whole body. Antennae help crickets find food and alert them of danger. Feelers, antennae. Thousands of different kinds of crickets live around the world. Field crickets are the most common. They are about 1 inch long and are dark brown or black in color. Field crickets mostly live in tiny tunnels in the ground. Male field crickets sit in their tunnel entrances all day and chirp loudly at night. At the same time, they are watching out for danger. If an enemy shows up, the male field cricket gives a high, piping chirp. Into the tunnels he pops. You can find ground crickets in the United States and Europe. They are brown or black like field crickets, but they are only about half the size. Ground crickets settle in damp places such as grassy riverbanks. Their song sounds like the tinkling of bells. Many ground crickets hide during the daylight hours, but at night they are active, eating, fighting, and mating. Tree crickets are the same size as field crickets, but they are pale green or white in color. Their very long antennae reach back to the tips of their rear legs. Male tree crickets do not usually chirp alone. Instead, they chirp in groups. A typical chorus of tree crickets may have hundreds of males. Their high-pitched song sounds like treat, treat, treat. Tree crickets hide in trees, bushes, and tall grass. Here, they find the smaller insects that they like to eat. House crickets are best known in Europe. They would rather live indoors, especially in warm places. Their favorite spots are near a stove, fireplace, or heater. These light brown or yellow crickets endlessly repeat their high, trilling sound. Many people believe that house crickets bring good luck. Having a cricket in your house, they say, means that nice things will happen to you. The sky is very dark now. The loud chirpings of the crickets fill the air. It is the nighttime sound of late summer. Chirp, 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 chirp. It's fun to catch and study a pet cricket for a while. Find a big clean jar or a plastic container with a wide neck and a cover. Put an inch of dirt in the jar. Ask an adult to poke small holes in the cover so that the cricket can breathe. Take your jar outdoors late some afternoon near the end of summer. Walk around until you hear the sound of a chirping cricket. Gently tap the cricket into the jar, then screw on the cover. At home, open the jar and drop in some food. Crickets will eat bits of lettuce or banana, moist bread, a drop of honey, or even dry dog or cat food. It's good to add an egg carton cup shelter because crickets usually don't chirp unless they feel safe, knowing that they have somewhere to hide. Watch your cricket jump around and eat the food. Listen for its chirps. Enjoy your cricket for a day and then let it go. Put it back where you found it. Crickets don't like to be in cages. They need their freedom the same as you and I do. The end. Those interesting facts.